sight.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Ross Patterson Revolution! Brought to you by BlackRifleCoffee.com.
Welcome to Ross Patterson Revolution. Woo! We got a hot one tonight. We got Lane Taylor, superstar for the Green Bay Packers. As you know, diehard football fan. Love it. Some might even say a junkie. Some might even say take it a little too seriously. The Green Bay Packers have always had a special place in my heart because I enjoy their fans. I enjoy their fan base. And it's the one stadium left on my NFL bucket list. It was always that. It was always Lambeau Field and Soldier Field. Those are my last two on my bucket list as far as NFL stadiums go. I haven't been there yet. And I ended up drafting a lot of Green Bay Packers on my fantasy football team. And they're one of those teams that every year that starts is you feel like they could win it all. I feel like with Aaron Rodgers, anything is possible, and I enjoy watching them on Sunday. Their fans are wild as hell, and they're great. And in a second here, after the sponsors, I'm going to call Lane Taylor, get him on the horn, chat about this upcoming season, his thoughts on the draft and fantasy football. But first, we got some sponsors. These guys, come on, BlackRifleCoffee.com. You hear them at the top of the show. They are our chief sponsor for the show, and I love them. They're not only my best friends own the company, they're veteran-owned, and they've got some of the finest coffee on the planet. I drink it every day. I've been a member of their Coffee of the Month Club for about a year and a half now, and it gets delivered to my doorstep every day of the same month. I don't have to think about it, don't have to go shopping for it. And it's one of the best decisions I've ever made. I like the Just Black, and they're caffeinated as fuck. Those are my two favorite blends. But Bison Union's got a new bag out called Smoke Hammer, which is also fantastic. I would highly recommend getting that from BlackRifleCoffee.com. Sign up for their Coffee of the Month Club and go to their Instagram. Their Instagram's awesome, and they're always giving deals away in their stories. Go to BlackRifleCoffee.com. Type in the one-time promo code REVOLUTION for 20% off, and their apparel is fantastic. It's finally warmer today, so I'm able to wear some short sleeves, and I got the new BRCC hat on, which I'm stoked about. Next up, we've got StrikeForceEnergy.com. Jabes is not here to do the sound effects, but Strikeforce Energy, boy, I am on a little bit of it this afternoon. This is the grape flavor. This is their new flavor, Make America Grape Again. This is my fave. I'm just going to go ahead and say it right now. You can drink it with anything. You can mix it with waters, alcohol, beers, liqueurs, wine. You name it, it goes together with it. On the live shows when we were doing Drinking Bros out in LA, I was mixing that shit with LaCroix every day, and it was getting me where I needed to be. You can kick the can, kids. You don't need the can anymore. You can get rid of Monster, Kickstart, Red Bull, all of it. Go to StrikeForceEnergy.com. Get a tasty, tiny little 10 pouch like so, and squeeze it into any liquid you want, and boom, boom, pop a couple squirts in. You can also use this. They get a 750 milliliter bottle here that I'm tapping on for the video audience. That'll last you a long time. Go to StrikeForceEnergy.com, type in the promo code REVOLUTION. That's always a 20% discount forever. So they ship everywhere in the entire world. So there's no excuse not to try some. Next up, we've got StraightRazors.com. Straight Razors, I want to highlight their shampoo and conditioner. I've been using these guys a lot for the last couple months. That's a new thing, and it's a great thing. Super stoked that they've been with us for the long haul. Big fan of their shaving products. I use them every day. How do I stay so baby fresh smooth? Straight Razors. I go to straightrazors.com. Get a kit. Try out a kit for Father's Day, or if you're looking to get a nice gift for a bro or a loved one. Try out their Straight Razor kits. And if you're looking just to try their aftershave, get a bottle of Smolder and figure it out. I use it every day. Love it. Go to straightrazors.com, type in the promo code REVOLUTION. This one, again, you get 20% off, and that's a big discount there. Their products are literally top notch. These are the finest I've seen. It's not like the bullshit Dollar Shave Club or anything like that. Last but not least, we've got the Caillou app. That's Kayu. I think we're doing a live show with them next month, kids, out of Fort Bragg. We're trying to set that up now, so we may be there in May. Doing some live shows with the kids from Caillou. That's Kayu. It was started by two Green Berets out of Fort Bragg, actually. And again, with Facebook going down in flames, everybody's trying out new social media apps. Give this one a go. It's free. It combines social media, travel, lodging, all that stuff, and you get to see the people. So if you're looking to split the travel costs or go on a cruise or go to a concert or hang out with people that are like you and go out and do some fun activities, this is the place to do it. And they're rated. So you get to see them and be like, all right, cool, these people are legit. Whereas Facebook, you can't rate people. They don't let you rate a human. They do on here. And a lot of people are hooking up off this app, and give it a go. Try it. It's free. Android, iTunes, all that stuff. You can just download the Caillou app. That's Kayu. Give it a go. Right now, I'm going to get Green Bay Packers superstar Lane Taylor on the phone and chat with him about the NFL in this upcoming season. Shall we?
I started tackle football in 5th grade.
In 5th grade?
Yeah.
Were you bigger than every other kid? You have to be, right?
It was actually funny. 4th grade was the first year I was eligible to do tackle football. And
why is that? Because of where you lived or because of the system?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, where I lived at in Texas, and my parents were kind of going back and forth. They're like, "Hey, is Lane ready? Is he ready to do tackle and everything?" And I was playing flag football. I ended up playing flag football a year, and I ended up tackling everybody on accident. So my parents kind of knew that it was time for me to, start tackle ball.
Yeah, to put the big boy shoes on. But again, you were bigger than everybody else, right? You had to have been.
Yeah, I did. My 3rd grade into 4th grade is kind of when I, blew up and got big. I went from being a running back in flag football to barely making my way the next year for tackle football.
Which is crazy, right? Because I was in a similar position where I had to, you'd run around the parking lot or spit a bunch, my coach would say, and then step on a scale to get weighed to play football for the day. Did you have that too?
Oh, yeah, definitely. I had to fast like 2 days before.
Yeah.
Mad kid. And you just do what you had to do for the 1 weight limit, and I'm good for the rest of the year.
Yeah, because you and me are actually the same height. However, you have about 100 pounds on me.
Just a few pounds.
Just a couple. You look like you're carrying it well, which is nice. Some of these guys, these linemen, don't at all. Where you're just like, oh boy. Yeah. I bet you pushing on some of these guys. You're like, man, I can smell what you ate like 30 minutes ago.
Oh yeah, some guys they kind of struggle to get up there to that weight. Me, it's kind of a natural thing. It's not too hard.
So you play Pop Warner football. You go through middle school and high school and all that stuff. Were you varsity immediately freshman year?
Actually, no. Freshman year, I just played on the freshman team. Sophomore year, I was on the JV team. I felt like I could have played varsity once. I think a guy was ineligible or something like that. And, I thought I could have got moved up, but didn't. But my junior, senior year, I was a starter.
You were a starter? And how many scholarships did you get out of high school?
I ended up getting 9 offers.
9? That's not terribly like a lot, right?
No, it's not a whole bunch, but it's not none, I guess.
Yeah, it's pretty good, but usually NFL players you hear get like hundreds of offers out of high school. Not me. And you decided on Oklahoma State. What made you decide to go to Oklahoma State coming out of Texas?
I knew I wanted to go to like a Big 12 school or one of the Power Five conferences, and the two offers that I did have from there was KU and Oklahoma State. So I kind of narrowed it down to them. KU when I was recruited, they were coming off that Orange Bowl win with Mangino.
Yeah.
They were kind of decent then. So I was considering them, and I visited both, and Oklahoma State just had a good feel to it. Kind of felt home there, and I'm really glad I ended up choosing it.
Yeah, because I look at Kansas, and to me, it's more of a basketball school. When you visited campus, did you get that sense as well? Because the stadium, every time a Kansas football game is on, is kind of empty.
Oh yeah, you get that sense. You're like, it's a basketball school. You're gonna have more. You're gonna have more guys, students at the basketball game than a football game.
Yeah.
I kind of didn't want that for myself personally, and plus they have a track around their field. That's not cool.
No, it's not cool at all. It's deep, and I'm not a big fan. How much do you hate the University of Oklahoma?
The hate goes pretty deep.
Yeah, look, and I'm asking because I went to Ohio State, and I didn't play ball there. I walked. They invited me to walk on, which I did. There was a guy ahead of me on a 4-year ride, and I knew it was either, hey, you can be a bench player for 4 years, because the guy ended up playing the NFL at my position. So I was kind of stuck, and I was like, I don't feel like working my ass off to ride the bench for 4 years. But that hatred for Michigan is so still deep that even last night I was rooting against them in the national championship.
Yeah, I was definitely rooting against Oklahoma in this past tournament, especially since I felt like Oklahoma State should have got in the tournament. But
I did too. Yeah.
So,
I think they wanted Trae Young just for the ratings of that day, and I think they probably thought, maybe he can squeeze this out to a Sweet 16 game. But I didn't necessarily think Oklahoma deserved to be in that tournament either.
Yeah, I kind of thought it was a political thing. Obviously you have Trae Young, who's going to be a draft pick. They're hoping probably OU brought in more fans or more tickets.
Yeah, it's a sexier pick and sexier for TV. And look, ESPN got to talk about Trae Young for a good week, so that no doubt helped their ratings.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, for sure. So when you go to Oklahoma State, do you start right away?
No, I didn't. I went there. I was like the heaviest I've ever been in my life. I got up to like 340, and I was like extremely out of shape. Not ready for college ball.
It's a different world, isn't it?
It is. Especially you go from my last semester in high school. I'm not taking a whole bunch of important classes. I'm kind of on my way out. You're not part of the football team, so you're kind of left to your own, and not really training like probably should, and having fun and stuff. And so I get to college, and it's kind of a rude awakening. You're like, okay, this is really hard.
Yeah, because you probably have this sense when you go that you're like, because I took, and I don't know if it's different now. I'm a couple summers older than you, to be polite about it, but I'm kidding. I'm a lot older than you, but I took, because we had 3 visits that the NCAA gave us. I took all 3, and I was kind of like, dude, I'm great in high school. In college, it'll be super easy. And then you get there and you go through, you get to see what goes on behind the scenes, and you're like, oh my God, this is nowhere near the level that I'm at right now.
Oh, exactly. You're like, I was good in high school, man. You're like, I'm a baller. You're like, let's go there, bang out this workout and stuff. And then like 20, 110s later, you're dying in the locker room.
Oh, yeah, just getting killed out there.
So I got my rude awakening when I first got there, and ended up, I redshirted my first year.
Okay.
And then my second year, my redshirt freshman year, I going to camp, I get a week or 2 with the second team. I end up getting stuck on the third team. Coaches really didn't know, am I going to make it or not? I need to. So then we go into the season, and the first game I don't even dress for the game, and then that following day, coach calls me at like 9 o'clock in the morning, like 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, oh crap, like this can't be great. So he calls me. He calls me. He's like, hey, I need you to come up here. My office line coach. He's like, I need you to come up here, and I was like, oh, sweet. And then so I go up there, and he's like, hey, look, he's like, I'm going to move you up. He wasn't happy with the play of one of the guards, and he was like, I need you to play better than you ever have. I was like, all right, I'll try. And then another week goes by. Another guy gets a shot at the right guard position, and I guess he still wasn't quite happy. And during practice, we kind of did musical chairs, went back and forth. He put me in for a couple plays, another guy going for a couple plays, and just whoever he was mad at the most at the time. And one practice, I remember it was a night practice. He stuck me in there, and I did good for that team session, and just stayed in there, and I never came out since.
That's amazing. And at this point, is there any thought in your head of, man, I'm going to be an NFL player?
Not at the time. No, I was just like, I was just trying to get a spot. I was trying to just get in where I fit in and stay on the team and play.
Sure. And like when you look around the locker room, do you know the guys going pro, and are they talking about it on the college level already at that point of like, all right, I'm here for 3 years. I'm going to do my 3 and then I'm going pro?
There wasn't probably a whole lot at the time. Dez was there, but when I started, that was the year he got suspended by the NCAA and stuff. So there wasn't a whole bunch of it.
Gotcha.
Russell Kuhn was there at the time, and he was a big part of my development. And we kind of knew he was going to go pro because he was talented.
Sure. Yeah, of course. Of course. Yeah. Those two guys are, all world. Des Bryant, though, there's something about that guy. He cannot stay. I think he should be bigger than he is right now. And I can't figure it out with him.
Yeah, there's a lot of people are kind of critical on him, but he's a good player. There's no doubt about that.
Great talent. I don't understand why that guy isn't catching 20 touchdowns every season. It's strange because I know the Cowboys are in debate about whether or not to cut him or not to pay him. Mm-hmm. I think he's owed $18 million this year against the cap. So they got a big decision coming up here in a couple weeks.
Yeah, they definitely do. You can kind of tell from film that him and Tony Romo probably had a better connection than he does with Dak.
Yeah.
Which was obvious. I mean, he got paid with Tony Romo, and obviously Tony Romo, enjoyed playing with him and had a good chemistry and stuff. So I'm just sure he's looking to get that same, gel with Dak that he did with Tony.
Yeah. I wonder if that'll happen. I'm curious to see that team this next year. Again, I'm an Ohio State guy, so Ezekiel Elliott was one of my dudes. I love watching him play, and without him, it was an entirely different team last year.
Oh yeah, for sure. It was a different team. It was bad timing that their left tackle got hurt at the same time. That kind of killed the run game at the same time. But Zeke, special player, good player. He won me a few fantasy matchups just himself. So, I'm a fan of him.
Same. He lost me one this last season though with that suspension coming late in the year.
Oh yeah, it's tough.
That nuked one of my teams, and I was like, come on. The weirdest part about him is he never really got into trouble in college at all. I don't know where that all started, at Dallas with all the difficulties he's been through, but he wasn't really that dude in college.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. I had one of his old teammates on my team, and And he said, Ohio, we just, was just chill and everything, and didn't get into any trouble.
Yeah, he
But
was. He was like, from what I understand, he was around his parents a lot and never really into trouble. Likable guy. I know Urban loved him. So I don't know. Strange.
yeah,
But we'll get back to you. Coming out of once you graduated Oklahoma State, you went undrafted in the NFL, correct?
correct.
Do you sit there and watch the draft kind of thinking maybe there's a shot I'll get a phone call that day?
I knew I should have got drafted. I still think I should have got drafted. But I knew I was like a day three guy. I was like, round 4 through 7. So I knew that was going to be my day. And so I just waited, and I got a few phone calls the day of, but nothing went through, and just watched the draft and watch everyone get picked. And
what's that like, sitting with your entire family? I would imagine, and then watching. I mean, because that last day is a long day.
Oh, it is definitely.
It's got to be grueling, right?
It is. It sucks. There's no way to put around it. I mean, it sucks. You got your whole family there, and you're sitting there on the couch just watching TV, watching the draft for hours on end. Got your phone next to you, turned on loud, just waiting for a call. And you put in a lot of work and a lot of hours to get to there, and everyone envisions himself, a football player getting drafted. So it's tough not to get drafted.
Yeah, but I look at the success you've had, and you got a new contract as well. That's got to be a reassuring thing where it's like, hey, if it all goes to hell, at least I'm safe. I'm good for life, right?
Oh, for sure, for sure. And I worked my tail to get where I was at. But on the other hand, I would, some of my successes came from being a free agent. Just always having that motivation of, they drafted 40 some odd linemen, in my draft, and I wasn't one of those. And it's always been a motivation to me and always pushed me, and, it's paid off for me.
So how did you get to go to Green Bay? Did you get to choose them? Or
yeah,
is it like Hard Knocks? Because when you're watching Hard Knocks and you see some of these undrafted guys, some of them get to choose where they're going. Did you call and say, hey, I want to try out for your team? Or did they call you? How did that work out?
Well, they'll call about you. So at the time, like when you pick for a free agency, like you want to pick pretty much fast as possible for spots fill up. So at the time, immediately it was between Green Bay and Cincinnati, and my agent was like, look, he's like, if you go to Green Bay, he's like, it's going to look good on your resume. And if it doesn't work out, you're most likely going to have a shot somewhere else.
Okay.
So I was like, cool, sounds good. I did go on a pre-draft visit here, and I did like Green Bay a lot. Now, I did want to go to Green Bay. And so, yeah.
Yeah, because, I mean, look, I'm a Falcons guy NFL-wise, diehard Falcons guy, but we don't have exactly the best fans, where Green Bay, you can honestly say they have the best fans in the NFL probably.
Oh, for sure. And the crazy thing is they're everywhere. Like, no matter where you go or who there's always a Green Bay fan somewhere in someone's family or a friend of a friend, but they're everywhere.
Everywhere. I went to the NFC divisional playoffs, to the game to get to the Super Bowl. You played in it, I believe, in Atlanta in the Georgia Dome. Yeah. So I was there at that game, and in my it was lower level. I had great seats. It was all Packers fans. It was like a smattering of us Falcons fans, and I was like, God bless it. And the game started. I didn't think that we would win that handily, but when the game started, I mean, your fans still stayed till the end, and it wasn't a close game.
No, that was a blowout. That was a beating. It was one of those bad ones where Atlanta was rolling, and we had all kinds of guys that got hurt and stuff, and but yeah, there's a lot of them. They're good fans. Sometimes, especially when we go to Florida games, there's a lot of them, and sometimes it feels like a home game.
Oh, I'm sure. Because that, you look at Jacksonville, Tampa, and then Miami, they've never been able to put a good fan base together in those cities for whatever reason.
Oh, true. Especially when we went to Miami about actually 4 years ago, my rookie year, and it was crazy because it was one of my first away games, and when we run out of the tunnel, I'm expecting we come out, we get booed and everything like usual.
Right.
We come out, the stadium just like roaring for us. I was like, what's going on here? This is crazy. And that's when I kind of figured out that all right, we got some pretty good fans.
Yeah. Because I went to a Miami game years ago, and I've been to Tampa, and I've actually been in all three. I've been in all three stadiums, and it's the same. Jacksonville, you can hear people's conversations on the other side of the stadium.
That's true. That's true.
Man, maybe not after this year. Like maybe they'll get some fans in there after this last showing, but I doubt it. It's just it's an older community that lives there, so I don't see Jacksonville's got an older vibe to it, where it's St. Augustine and the alligators and you have a lot of retirees in Florida, and this is my theory on why their sports teams have zero fan base. Same with Miami, where it's like Miami is obviously a big Latino community in Cuban and whatever. They didn't really grow up on football. So trying to lure them in to see the Dolphins play, it would take a great team again, like Marino and those guys. And this year, they look the worst they've ever looked on paper right now.
Oh yeah.
Tampa Bay is a different story, where you still have some spring breakers and young people there, but it's kind of like James Franco in Spring Break, where it's like there's an element where you might still get stabbed in the parking lot in Tampa Bay.
Yeah, there is. But it's still a little sketchy.
Yeah, a little sketchy, but the team they're putting out on the field is at least looking decent, where it's like, all right, Winston's all right. Mike Evans is one of the best in the league. So they might be able to pull it together, I think. But Florida as a whole, I just don't ever see them being like a sexy, destination for players. Players like they love living in Miami. But
sure.
Yeah. But as far as like Jacksonville goes, that's not the hot spot where you're like, man, I really want to settle down in Jacksonville and go to the alligator farm.
Oh yeah, definitely. Definitely, I think you got it right on the spot there.
Yeah. I had Jalen Ramsey on the show a couple weeks ago from Jacksonville. Great guy, and I was asking him about the upcoming draft. Do you sit around and get excited, with a party and everything like you used to as a kid still, and watch the draft?
No party. I always watch the draft. My first about 3 years of my career, the draft is pretty stressful because they're drafting your replacement, and you're just
that's right. You're just watching it. You're just watching it happen.
Watching it like, please don't draft anybody. You can draft any other position, but now, it's something I look forward to watching, because it's something that we're gonna contribute to the team and make the team better. Because obviously the goal is Super Bowl, and if we had needs, want them to take care of it.
Yeah. What do you think the Green Bay Packers need this year in the draft?
I think first round it needs to be a corner. I think we have some young guys that have some talent, could develop into something really nice, but we need that extra talent there, and there's so many good receivers in the league that you got to keep up with them all.
Yeah.
So having one or two guys isn't good enough anymore. When you got to be able to go a dime and play with all those corners. So that'll definitely help us out.
Yeah. What number are you guys drafting this year? Do you know?
We're 14. That's the highest we've been in a long time.
Wow, 14. I wonder if Denzel Ward out of Ohio State will still be on the board. I doubt it, but man, he would be great for you guys.
There is a chance. I look at some mock drafts where he's still there, but he sounds like he was a good player. He had a good year.
He was great for Ohio State. Man, that kid was good.
Yeah, shoot, I'll take him. Ohio State products have been doing pretty good lately.
Yeah, yeah. I think I read a stat the other day that almost every single cornerback under Urban Meyer has been drafted in the NFL at Ohio State, which is
Wow,
shocking.
that's impressive.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Yeah.
They churn him out there. Yeah, that guy is somehow able to pull off miracle after miracle. Big fan of his. Let me ask you this: Do you follow the off-season shenanigans with like Aaron Rodgers and stuff like that? Do you pay any attention to the tabloids?
Just whatever pops up on my Twitter feed is what I see.
Because like right now, he went from Olivia Munn to Danica Patrick, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah. I just see that. At first, I saw that. I didn't believe it, and then
I didn't either.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, right. Whatever. So then I saw he actually was dating Aaron, and I was like, man, I'm gonna do some NASCAR tickets now.
I know.
He got the hook. He got to hook the offensive line up with some NASCAR tickets.
Yeah, definitely some Daytona 500 tickets. You know.
Yeah, that'll work.
That's right. That's right after the Super Bowl. Like that would be a great party to attend.
Yeah.
Maybe that'll be your gift because every Super Bowl who wins the quarterback usually gets their O-line a gift.
Yeah, I'll take that.
Yeah.
Without a doubt.
Do you ask him about it? Like, do you guys ever sit and chat about it in the locker room of like, hey man, I saw you're dating so-and-so. How crazy is this or anything like that?
Oh, nah, we just let him be.
Oh, really? So you guys don't get into each other's personal lives or anything like that?
Not really. Not a whole lot. I mean, nothing that's, I guess, out of the ordinary. Yeah, I mean, yeah, he's dating someone famous, but we don't really care.
See, I would be curious. Like when my buddies are dating famous people, I really sit down and go through every last detail with them.
Really?
Oh yeah, yeah. I will line it up and be like, great. I want to know everything that Scarlett Johansson is like. Like, let me know what's going on. What do you guys talk about? What's her favorite food? Just because I'm curious,
Okay. No, not really. My wife and I, we went over to Aaron's house for his birthday dinner last year or the year before, and we met Olivia, and that was like the first time we really like I guess met her and I got to know her. And,
yeah.
She was really cool. We liked her. She was cool. She still talks to my wife every now and then. But yeah.
Yeah, I got a chance to work with her maybe, I don't know, 7 or 8 years ago on a project, and she's fantastic, just super cool, down to earth, and just a great girl. I was surprised that they broke up, to be honest with you.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, she was humble. She seemed cool, and she was from Oklahoma, so got some Southern roots, but yeah, guess it didn't work out.
No. Look, you never know why, but yeah, she was a great one. She was awesome. So what's your overall hope as far as the rest of your career goes? Is your goal to make it to the Hall of Fame?
For right now, my goal is to be a Pro Bowler or all Pro. I think I can do it, and I'm playing there at a high level, and I just have to do it for a little bit longer, and I'll be able to get there.
Yeah. Do you worry? Have you ever had concussions or anything like that? I know a lot of players discuss it. We had Kyle Turley on a couple months ago, and he went through, what he thought about CTE and everything else and how long he could play and didn't play. He had no regrets, though, to his credit. He was just like, look, man, I love playing football more than life itself. Do you hope to play the game as long as you could possibly play it, or do you have an exit strategy at some point?
I feel like I'll know when it's that time. I have 3 more years on this contract, which takes me to 8 years. I know I've always wanted to hit 10 for sure.
10 is that pension level, right?
Yeah, for sure. Well, I'm already, we all have our pension and everything, but when you hit that 10, that's like a great mark and a good number. But I've just always wanted to hit that 10. This contract takes me through 8. And then I know after that I want to play like at least 3 more years.
Oh, that'd be awesome. All in Green Bay. Do you hope to finish your career there?
I hope so. That'd be awesome. That'd be ideal. Obviously, it's a business, and and whatnot. But I love Green Bay. Our family's here. We have a house here, and our kids, and so it'd be great to stay if we could. And obviously, it's a great organization, great players, quarterback, and
Yeah, yeah.
it'd be awesome too, and ideal. But we'll see.
Yeah, look, Green Bay is one of those teams that you guys seem to be in it every single year. You never seem to have a down year unless, obviously Aaron Rodgers or somebody like that goes down.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think as long as he's here, we're always going to chance.
Yeah, and a durable running back.
Oh, for sure.
Man, you guys have seemed to just gas through. Is James Stark still playing there, by the way?
No, he's not. He's retired now.
Oh, he is. God, that guy, every year he seemed to pop up and just play like 3 or 4 games because of injuries. And I was like, man, James Starks is 100 years old. Him and Frank Gore will be around after the apocalypse is over.
Yeah, it's so true because, James, I mean, he just kind of, just lurked in the shadows for a while, and he'll pop up every once in a while. He'll make a big play or have a big game or something. And he hung around for 6 or 7 years, I think.
I know a long time. We were just like, man, James Starks is still here. It was one of those guys that just crept up on you and tapped you on the shoulder and was like, "Hey, it's me, James Starks.
Don't forget about
me. I'm going to run for 150 for one game. Everybody's going to pick me up off the waiver wire, and then I'll never have another yard again."
That's so true.
How sad was it losing Jordy Nelson, by the way?
Man, that was so sad. Look, honestly, when it happened, I saw it and I was like, no way. And then I text my wife and I was like, they just cut Jordy. And she was like, no, they didn't. I was like, I swear. And she was, and then we were like, man, we feel like we lost like a family member.
Yeah.
It's tough because it's like, it's one of those guys you think, all right, Jordy's going to play his contract and he's just going to ride off in the sunset and be a Packer Hall of Famer and go out the right way. But, it's the business. And that's the tough part about this business because you think you have things in your mind how you think it's supposed to go and other people have plans for you. And that's just part of the business and the crappy part of it.
Yeah, because I mean, look, obviously, I'm not in your locker room or privy to it, but he seemed from an outsider's perspective, kind of like he was the heart of that locker room. Would you say that's a fair statement?
Yeah, I mean, he was was a big part of this team. He's always been a true pro, super nice guy. Do anything for you and do things right, and that's what he's always done since day one. And he's a guy that I always kind of looked up to on a professional level of like, okay, like this is how you take care of your business. This is what you're supposed to do.
Yeah, and he signed with the Raiders, right?
Correct.
Man, the Raiders are gonna under Gruden. They could be putting something together there.
They could. They got Gruden there for like $1 billion or something like that.
Oh, it's crazy, isn't it?
10 years. Yeah, for 10 years. And they added a few pieces this offseason. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, the Rams have a scary defense now that they got Sue on their team. Did you read about that?
Yeah, I saw that. They went and got like every good player in the for their defense.
That's the first team I'm drafting in fantasy football for defense.
Oh, for sure. They should be. They should score a lot of points this year.
Yeah. Did you see in their defense? Did you see that Aaron Donald was training with knives?
Yes, I did see that.
Is that a normal thing? That can't be like in like every.
That is definitely not normal.
When I saw the footage, I was like, this is absolute insanity.
It took me a second. I was looking at the video and I was like, there's no way that's knives. I was like, those are really knives.
Yeah, I watched that video probably 5 or 6 times because I was the same way. I was like, there's no way that's knives. There's no way.
Nah, like they were actual knives. And that's not normal, but hey, whatever the coach got going, that's what he got going.
Yeah, yeah. If I'm watching that and I'm an offensive line, I'm like, Jesus, man, that's some next level. Like that guy doesn't care. Either that or it's a really genius ploy to drop online and be like, hey, I'm going to put this in everybody's minds that I dodge knives, therefore I'm not worried about your hands next year.
Hey, it's great for it's great for a good off-season video to post.
Oh yeah,
just you dodging knives. It's like I'm putting in the work. Look at me.
Exactly. Him, James Harrison, those guys. James Harrison's all about the Instagram. I'm convinced he's just working out for Instagram now at this point.
He definitely loves lifting weights. There's no doubt about that. Guy he does crazy amounts of weight on squat and all kinds of stuff.
Crazy, where it's just like, who are you doing this for? I hate the gym. I don't know anybody who loves the gym that much.
That's another level. I like working out and stuff and get big, but that's a whole another level.
Let me ask you, who's some of the defensive guys that you hate going against? Who are the ones you're just like, you wake up on Sunday and you're like, man, I got to go against this guy today?
There's not really a whole bunch of people. There's not really anybody. I like going against everyone, really. I like going against good players. I feel like it brings the best out of me. And also like going against good players because that's how you become a good player, a great player, is being that shutdown guard.
Yeah, who do you think's the best then that you've gone against on defense?
Let's see. The best I've been against, Geno Atkins. I played him this year. He was pretty good.
Yeah.
They got strong as an ox. He was pretty good. Who else I like? Played Sheldon Richardson this year. He was pretty good himself. Who else? Yeah, Kawan Short, played him too. Good pass rusher guy and stuff. So, gone against a fair share of people.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. How prevalent is fantasy football in the locker room? Do you guys all play? And are you aware of your stats as it's going on?
Let's see. I'm pretty big on fantasy football myself.
I'm a junkie.
Yeah, I'm in like 5 leagues, so
yeah.
Every time I'm like, all right, no more leagues, and someone's like, hey, you want to jump in? I'm like, I'm in.
Yeah, you're like, I'll go one more. That's it. You're the last one.
Yeah, exactly. So, I love it. I would say this past year there wasn't a whole bunch of guys that did it. There was some like, I know the outside linebackers, they do it, and we have a league at work, but it was kind of hard to get people to do it this year.
Really?
This past year, yeah. There just wasn't a whole bunch of fancy guys. But in the years past, there was one year we had 16-team league. We had, 12. So.
Okay.
So this past year wasn't big, but I do when I do look at some of the updates and stuff, I kind of see how many yards they got. If they got a touchdown, how many receptions. And I'm like, all right, I should have.
Yeah.
A decent amount of points.
Do you ever draft Aaron Rodgers and look at him in the huddle and be like, hey, man, I'm down by 6. I need a 30-yard touchdown to Jordy here, and I win. Like, I'm in the playoffs. Do you ever draft your own guys on your own team?
I have. I haven't. I don't think I've ever drafted Aaron. Not because I haven't chose to, but he just goes so high in the draft.
Yeah, he goes real fast.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes he'll go in the first round, and I'm like, there's no way I'm picking.
Yeah.
So, but last year, let's see, I think I had Jordy.
Okay.
So whenever I'm on the field though, and I'm blocking, and then you hear the crowd, you can tell you complete a pass, and you have Jordy on your team, and he's over there breaking like a 60-yard touchdown. You're excited for the team, but your own fantasy team is really pumped up about this touchdown.
Oh yeah, you're blocking a little harder, hoping that goes down. Oh, that's great.
But I do try not to draft too many Packers just because I don't want to have to like,
be disappointed in them. Like,
wish that Jordy scored instead of Devontae or something like that. I don't want to have to like worry about that.
Sure. Have you ever picked up James Starks off the waiver wire? Yes or no?
Yes.
So same here.
No, definitely. Because a couple years ago, him and Eddie they kind of switched roles, and James took over as a starter, and like we said, he had a good game. He had. Oh man, I think he had like 120 and like 2 tutters, and he took over the next week as a starter, and got him off the waivers. And I was like, all right, cool. I got a starter each week.
Yep. And then nope, no, right. And Eddie Lacy's disappointed me so much. I just can't do it. I'm sure he's a nice guy, but I just can't draft him anymore.
No, not a chance.
No. Who are you most excited for coming up this year? Who do you think are going to be the breakouts fantasy-wise?
Fantasy-wise?
I think Pat Mahomes out of Kansas City he could be exciting, I think.
He could. I think I'll probably wait, kind of see how that plays out. I might wait a year on him. Kind of makes me a little nervous, first year starter, only second year in the league.
Yeah. The way his ability to run though, you look at Dak's first year, like that was, everybody, the guy in my leagues whoever had Dak, almost pretty much won the Super Bowl. So, you're picking up those extra yards. I won't be drafting any of this rookie class, so I can tell you that these guys that are coming out of the draft, like I
don't think so. I don't think there's no. I don't believe there's going to be like a Des Bryant or Odell Beckham kind of player. That Saquon Barkley kid, he'll be good, but it depends where he goes.
Yeah, I think
there really isn't a fantasy person that just jumps out to me.
Yeah, maybe Saquon Barkley if he goes to Cleveland. But we'll see, because Cleveland's got Isaiah Crowell, or maybe not even him anymore. But he might be the dude immediately, but that's about it. Like these quarterbacks who are coming out, I don't see Baker Mayfield having a great year, or a great career. I don't think I don't know. There's something about him. He feels like Johnny Manziel to me.
Really? I got the opposite feel about him.
Really? You think he's going to do good?
I think he could be good. Like if you look at him, here's how I look at him. I look at him as he's a much better prospect than Russell Wilson was coming out of college.
Yes, yeah, 100%.
He's a better thrower. I think he's a tad taller, probably the same height. But I think he could be good.
I'm still not sold on Russell Wilson has a long-term QB option in Seattle for some reason.
You have to tailor the offense to him. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah, whereas like Aaron Rodgers can come in and whip it 60 yards in the air. You feel like you're never out of it with Aaron Rodgers. Correct. If you need to get in that shootout, he'll be in that shootout. Yeah, and where I just don't have that same vibe about Russell Wilson, and
no, that's why whenever he was at the top of his game, what they do, they smash mouth football, they ran the football, play action pass, bootleg. Everything he was great at, all the traits that make him a good player. That's what they did. So, that's what I kind of feel like you would have to do with Mayfield a little bit.
Yeah, I think so. You're going to have to tailor your offense. Last question, and I'll let you get out of here. Being that I'm a diehard Falcons fan, I have this. This is my theory. I don't know that you can come back as a team from a Super Bowl loss like that and get back and win the title. I just don't believe it's possible. From a mental aspect of it, if you were the Falcons going through that Super Bowl game with New England, do you think a team would be able to snap out of that funk and come back and win a Super Bowl?
I think so. It's tough. It is tough because you sacrifice a lot of time. A lot goes into the season, more than just on Sunday. And, it's a year-round process. And to get so far and to get so close, it's tough. And especially since they had it won, really, essentially.
Oh, boy.
And just gave it to them, gave it back to them. So, but yeah, I'm sure they've added some pieces. They got good players. They still have a lot of players they had at the time that are still on the team.
Yes,
So,
we same exact guys. Essentially, we've upgraded our defense a little bit, but that offensive coordinator, that Sarkisian, I just don't think he's the dude for us.
Yeah, he runs that. He came from that that tree, that Seattle tree.
Yeah, which it's not a terribly sexy offense to watch, that Seattle Seahawks offense. I feel like that team's always been built around a good defense, and the offense is kind of like, well, just get us through the game and we'll be fine. And that's the way I feel about the Falcons last year, where it was like, the year they beat you guys to go to the Super Bowl, I felt, I mean, dude, we were dropping 45 a game. It was a blast to watch. This last year was a grind. Even watching that Philadelphia Eagles game, that 15-10 matchup.
Yeah, it was just like a slow slugfest.
Oh my God. It was like watching paint dry on like my cousin. Like if he put paint on his arm, it'd be like watching paint on his arm dry. And I'm sitting there watching this game, and I said out loud, and I said on the show, I had a very infamous bet with somebody, but I said, look, neither of those teams deserve to go to the Super Bowl or are capable of winning a Super Bowl. And then Philadelphia ends up winning it all. Yeah.
So really, to tell you the truth, in the NFL, sometimes it's just whoever kind of has the hot hand that year, and kind of who has the best coaching and players executing that year. Because I mean, you looked us in 2014 is the best season I've been since we've been here. I mean, we were clicking every single week.
Yeah.
It didn't matter. We were out there. We were scoring points like crazy. Kind of seems like the ball, bounces your way more that year. And then literally the next year, the only difference we had was Jordy wasn't playing that year. He tore his ACL. And we hardly could score 20 points a game. We struggled to get 20 points a game.
Yeah.
But we still had all the pieces in place, and sometimes it's just weird. It's just you just never know how each year is going to go.
You really don't. It depends on a little bit of luck, health, everything like that. Do you think this is your year in Green Bay to win the Super Bowl?
I think we have a good chance. I think if we, we had a lot of coaching change here, and that hasn't happened since I've been here. So. Yeah, I think it'll be for the better, especially for our defense. I think they were a little burned out with the old system and the old ways, and we got a new coach, and he's from that Rex Ryan tree, and they're known for having good defenses. And we added Jimmy Graham, to our offense, so I think that'll definitely help.
Yeah, Jimmy Graham's that was a sexy pickup for you guys. It happened on the same day as Jordy, and it had to have been like, oh my God, no,
exactly, because it happened like immediately together. So I'm like, yes, I was like, we just got Jimmy Graham. This is awesome.
Yeah.
And like my phone started blowing up. They're like, y'all got Jimmy Graham. I'm like, oh yeah, like touchdowns.
Yeah.
Like here we go, and then 10 minutes later, phone goes silent.
Yep, you lost Jordy.
And we're like, no. So, but yeah, but Jimmy, he'll help out a lot, especially in the passing game. This offense I think works best when we have that vertical threat at the tight end position. It really kind of opens up everything else for us. So it'll definitely help.
Yeah, I can say I'm taking Jimmy Graham. That's going to be my top tight end this year. So
yeah, he's definitely he's definitely going to probably score a lot of touchdowns for us this year. Yeah,
when Aaron Rodgers has a great tight end, it's he goes to him a lot. So I'm looking forward to it. That's a sexy pickup.
They're good. Yeah, I know. That's what we needed. It's gonna be nice to have out there. And, hopefully we can win some games with it.
For sure. Well, listen, Lane Taylor, I appreciate you being on the show, man. You're a fantastic dude, and much continued success.
Hey, thank you so much, man. Thanks for having me on.
Absolutely, man. Have a great off season and enjoy the draft.
All right, thanks.
All right, take care.
All right. Bye.
That was Lane Taylor, guard for the Green Bay Packers. What a great fucking dude. Really enjoyed that conversation. I'm always been I always have a soft spot for the Green Bay Packers. They are a team that is always great. And I love people with excited fan bases. That's why I love hashtag Bills Mafia so much. I love people that are that amped about their football team that they're just ready to run through a wall because they're excited and passionate about the sport. Probably because I am. Look, I'm excited and passionate about my teams as well. Obviously, that's definitely been well documented. But it's cool and refreshing to hear also that a guy like Lane, who's had a lot of success, is still playing fantasy football. I like that. I like believing in your team. When we had Pete Rose on, I was like, I didn't fault him for betting on his own team. I wish there was more of it. So thank you for being on the show, Lane. This was a fun one, kids. Thanks for listening to Ross Patterson Revolution. Good night, everyone.